Is your HVAC system ready for the new season? Seems early, but fall is in the air. Call Premier Heating and Air for a $69 system checkup to ensure your heater is ready for action. If your system needs service or replacing, Premier will provide you with the best options for your situation. Premier Heating and Air offers several services to ensure your home's comfort. Let one of our technicians come out and clean and seal your air duct system, add attic insulation, clean your dryer vent, or install one of our indoor air quality products to keep your home pleasant. Call today to experience the Premier difference.
Welcome everybody. I'm glad to have with me today my dear friend Brian Mallette. He is the Executive Director of the Dublin-Orange County Recreation Authority, and I wanted to sit down with Brian. Brian, I talked with you a couple weeks ago, and the SPLOST is coming up November 7th. Y'all, we've got a Dublin City election, but Lawrence County will be voting on to extend the SPLOST. It's not a new tax. It's one that we've had for many, many years. And oh my goodness, the things we've done with that SPLOST, I think they've been good stewards of the money. Our county commissioners, our local officials, so much money. This last SPLOST, I was looking, Brian, City of Dublin got $9 million. Economic development got several million. People don't realize what tourism does for this community. And let me tell you, we've talked about this, Brian. I love to read the tags when I'm out here. You got a tournament coming up, what, 86 teams?
Yes, sir. We got a softball event that will be in November. The 1st of November, there'll be 80-plus softball teams. So think of the amount of people that are coming to our community.
Thousands of people. Even if they got 10 players on the team, that's a lot of people. So, y'all, I got a letter here. I want to share this right up front. This is incredible. This letter's not even a month old, but listen to this now. The Dublin-Orange County Recreation Authority, Southern Pines, because of the industry coming in, the tourism coming in, playing ball like these 86 teams, it saves you, every household in this county that owns property, it saves you $440 every year off your taxes. Think about that. You know, people complain, every day, I'm telling you, every day somebody's complaining to me about taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes, okay? But if we're gonna have good roads, good law enforcement, good recreation facilities, we gotta pay taxes. And I think people like us, like you're watching now, you don't mind paying your fair share as long as you see you're getting something good out of it. Listen to this, y'all. Visit Dublin, Georgia just announced these tourism numbers, generated $100 million. $100 million. It's hard to wrap your head around that. In 1 year.
And in 1 year, that is phenomenal. I think a lot of people in our community don't realize the amount of impact that has brought into our community.
And I'm telling you, just like last night, we started our first game. There's so much going on at Southern Pines. And a lot of you, you're not involved in recreation, but ride out here sometime. You go into Longhorns and eat or wherever. Just pull through here and see the children, the quality of life, for us to be able to live, work, and play in a community and not having to travel. Last night, our Little League team, Brian, we played, super people. They're coming from Truitland County because they want to be a part of a good recreation authority. And not saying anything bad about Truitland County, but they can't offer what we have here. And it's just so good to know that these people, I mean, these people are salt of the earth. You know, I asked them, I believe in the power of prayer, and I mentioned to them before the game, I said, I like to go out on the pitcher's mound and just bring both teams out and have prayer before we play. Oh, they was all in. That's the kind of people that we're bringing in here to Southern Pines. But think about that $100 million. It supported 1,073 jobs in this county. Fairview Park Hospital employs 800 people. So it generated more people than works at Fairview Park Hospital. That is a lot of people. And I talk to my friends that own motels here. There's weekends there's not a room anywhere. People are having to stay in other towns to be able to get a room to come here. And the other thing that just impresses me is we have the largest facility between Atlanta and Panama City, Florida. We got a gym, don't we, brother?
Yes, sir. We are very blessed. Again, nothing against these small communities around us, but just go look at your other counties around us. I mean, we are very fortunate to live in Lawrence County.
And we've had 2 consecutive years of growth in our tourism. It continues to grow, continues to climb. And we've invested, and I say we, our community, taxpayers in this community, and let's just say it, let's say it like it is, a SPLOST. As I told somebody yesterday getting tires on my wife's car, 60% of that SPLOST comes from people out of the county. So to me, that's the most fair tax. Whether you mad about your road getting paved or you don't like whatever, knowing that people out of this county pay 60% of those SPLOST dollars, to me, it's a no-brainer. And some of you are sitting there now probably thinking, he's slap crazy. I don't want to pay any more tax. You're not going to pay any more taxes. We've already got a SPLOST. It don't change anything. We're just going to continue doing what we're doing. What good things, you made a lot of improvements out here the last year. Oh my goodness, y'all, please ride out here and look. It is incredible, us playing our Little League team out there on that artificial turf. They think they're in the big leagues.
It's been a blessing. You know, we were super fortunate that the county commissioners allowed us to get some of the excess SPLOST funds. You know, with that, we did turf fields. We did a new playground. For you guys that haven't been out to Southern Pines and seen the new playground, it is phenomenal. State of the art, super nice. New pickleball courts. So with all that, that's some of the improvements that we made to Southern Pines. Super fortunate again, and you know, I'll give you some numbers just based off of, because I track this stuff for our board, for the rec board, and I make sure that they're aware of these. But from March to October, with the new investment with turf, that's 8 months. We've seen 55,400 people. That's not a formula. I track this off of gate sales from Perfect Game and from USFA softball, from these vendors that we have that come into Southern Pines, and then the participants. We know how many teams are here, and it's pretty easy. So by the time you add all that up, that's 55,400 and something people. I think the best year leading up to this, we had saw like 40,000 people due to ball tournaments. Mm-hmm. So now, 8 months into this, we've seen more people that live, we've seen more people come to tournaments than live in Lawrence County. What is it, almost 49,000?
Yeah, right. Almost 50,000.
Yeah, almost 50,000 people that live in Lawrence County. But I'll take it a step further. The water park this year, the exact number of people that came to the water park due to the turnstiles that count people coming in, 40,693 people came to our water park, which a percentage of that was built with SPLOST funds. So with these SPLOST funds, we have made all these improvements. And again, to educate people what SPLOST stands for and what SPLOST is, it's a special purpose local option sales tax. A popular method for funding capital improvements in our state. Again, these numbers that we're throwing out there, and Mr. James talked about, 10 years ago, it was 40% of people outside our community paid for this. Well, that's 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Think of these numbers that have increased. So again, it's more like Mr. James said, 60% of this is coming from outside of our community. 60% of our SPLOST dollars come from people outside our community.
I have this conversation every day. I know you get calls. You run into people. Some of them my kinfolk, probably your kinfolk.
Yes, sir.
And look, it's great to have dialogue. I'd rather somebody talk about it and understand it than just to not understand the numbers. And you got to admit, $100 million in your community. Those numbers, like you said a while ago, this isn't some projection out there that some pie in the sky would want to do. These are what has been done. And they're growing every year. So that 100 million, but you got to keep improving. Listening to the numbers a while ago, we talked off camera, since the park opened 5 years ago, since the water park opened, over 200,000 people.
Yeah, just in the water park. And, you know, just this year alone, if you take the number I gave you, added for baseball and softball tournaments, and then add that to the water park, you're at 96,000 people have come to Southern Pines. 96,000 people. That number blows my mind sometimes. But again, for you guys that haven't been to this park, come to it. We are so blessed and so fortunate to have this in our county.
And it's the most fair tax. It is the most fair tax. Property owners, I hear from you all the time. I own property. Brian, you own property. I just can't stand much more. And this SPLOST is being paid for by 60% of the people out of the county. It's the way to go, regardless of what your hang up is. You know, we got to get over this, and we got to continue these improvements and continue our county growing. I was talking to former superintendent over in a neighboring county, and he told me that the millage rate for the schools was 19%, and for the county it was 15%. They pay 34% millage rate. That blows my mind. What about a farmer out there?
Yes, sir.
With 1,000 acres? You know, and farmers are barely holding on as it is. So it is the most fair tax. We got to take a break, and we'll come back and talk more about it.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space. So hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
You want to know why we ride? Maybe it's because everything looks better with a fresh coat. It's putting on your Sunday best and catching up with old friends. And who doesn't love going into the office? We ride because out here, we can be our true selves. Dirt and all. Maybe that's why.
Hey, I'm TJ with Dublin Outdoors and Power Sports, formerly known as Myers Equipment Supply. We're your full-line sales and service dealer for Can-Am Off-Road.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Curry Maffett Insurance in Dublin and Augusta if auto owners make sense for you.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, I'm talking to Brian Mallette with the Dublin-Lawrence County Recreation Authority, and we're talking SPLOST. We've got an election coming up November 7th. Talk about a few more numbers. You know, a lot of people complain about taxes. Heck, I complain about taxes. So, you know, it's just, I think it's a national pastime because nobody likes to pay taxes, but we must have them for law enforcement and paved roads and good recreation to have a good quality of life. That's what we're investing in. You're not paying the way I look at it. We're investing in our community for not just for us, but for generations to come, long after we're gone. We want this community to prosper. We want our community to prosper. We want our churches to prosper. But talking about taxes, SPLOST versus what I call taxes. In Lawrence County, we were talking about it during the break, We have a 6.75 millage rate in Orange County. Now, the school board is 14%. If you live in the city of Dublin, I was at Longhorns last night after our ball game and talking to a citizen of Dublin. He said, James, we're paying 19%, almost 20% millage in the city of Dublin. He said, James, I can't stand no more. That's why I don't want the SPLOST. I said, but man, that ain't got nothing to do with continuing the progress that we're doing. We don't want to go backwards because it's so much harder to catch up in it.
Yeah, for me, SPLOST is, in my eyes, everybody wins in SPLOST. In a nutshell, for me, SPLOST is, a 1% sales tax. Again, 60% of people are going to pay this outside our community. So why wouldn't we let people from outside our community help fund making improvements for our community? Amen. That's a no-brainer. Again, we looked at some of these millage rates of these counties surrounding us, and it's it'll blow your mind. I mean, really. Again, the things that we do have, we have the interstate, we have the VA, we have Southern Pines, we have downtown, we have people. We bring people into our community that these small communities, these small counties around us don't have that luxury, and we do. So we have to be good stewards of this, and again, SPLOST is a way for us to make improvements without affecting the taxpayer.
And don't it make sense that instead of paying a lot, when we spread it out like we do, we all just paying a little? And because you got all these people coming from out of the county. We at Longhorns after our game last night, we had to wait 30 minutes on a table. I thought it was great. Nobody in my party, we had a party of 9, but nobody was complaining. We're visiting with other people out of town. It was like a big family reunion in there, Nobody was complaining about waiting because people are spending money in our town, our community. And that's where the SPLOST comes in, y'all. We are so fortunate to have, because I grew up in Orange County, and we used to, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I miss those days where we get on the back of a truck and in East Dublin and head down to Cadwell, over to Cadwell or Rents or wherever. And we love that. But you fast forward and look at the facility that we have here. So many benefits, more than we could ever do in this show. But just like last night, I'm coaching on field 6, 2 of my grandkids. And right over there, 2 fields over, I think field 8, my other grandson's playing. Just as soon as our game was over, we shoot over there, just couldn't have walked 25, 30, 40 yards. I didn't count it, but just right there. I could see over to the field instead of getting in the car and having to race over somewhere and then you done miss the ball game. So if you don't have kids or grandkids involved in recreation, it's hard. I know it's hard to grasp. It really is. But there's so many benefits, and we've been showing you some pictures as we have been talking, but you can see the recreation facility from a 10th floor view. And when you look down and see all the fields, 16 fields?
There's 15 fields, baseball, softball, and then we have, a full turf soccer field. We have a multi-purpose complex over here that we do football, soccer, and then you have 4 other fields that are for soccer and use. But
in the ag building, we're having a rodeo. As I'm pulling up today, it's the 6th year Easter Seals is brought. I ain't talking about some guy pulling in with a few horses and cows. I'm talking about they're getting their final points to go to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl of.
It's a pro rodeo.
Events. Oh, this thing is. We love going. Our kids love it, and we raise money for Easter Seals. I can't think anything better, but that's going on this weekend. Be thousands of people here. They're going to eat. They're going to spend money. Some will stay. But that's just one other event. And Brian, we could never cover all the things that happen out here. But there's something always going on. Y'all, we had our kickoff for football here 2 weeks ago or whatever. I was looking, we did a video on the opening day of football, and I looked this morning before I come. We've had, in 12 days, we've had 3,100 people go and watch what's going on with the Lawrence County Recreation Authority. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's just in 12 days. There'll be tens of thousands before it's over. These are people looking and saying, let's go, let's play in that tournament. Let's go to Dublin. Have you seen? And let me tell y'all, I'm out here a lot. And when I see people out of town and they're saying, every one of them say, man, y'all got it going on. This is beautiful. And I know you're biased and I'm biased. Just ride out here. Just come out and take a look and see what your money's being invested in. Please look at it as an investment, because that's what it is. Go ahead.
I had a friend of mine last Sunday. We were out here playing in a Perfect Game event, and he's from Columbus and actually went to college with this gentleman. And you know, he's like, man, we're coming back to Dublin every tournament. He's like, one, I think it's awesome. The fields are phenomenal, the best that we played on. He said, but two, I don't have to go to Atlanta and deal with traffic. You know, so that's some of the things, you know, think 10 years ago, what we touched on a while ago, 10 years, you know, 10 years ago we didn't have water park. 10 years ago we didn't have, you know, didn't have turf fields. Again, I ask everybody, why wouldn't we let people from outside our community help make improvements to our community? And this is a way through SPLOST, because 60% of this is generated from people outside our community.
In 1 year, though, it's almost hard to wrap your mind around it. In 1 year, tourism generated $100 million. In a county, 50,000 people. Right now, we're probably at 50,000. Last census, we were at 49,500 and whatever. So we feel like we're already at 50,000 with the growth of the county and the new industry and these things going on. And why do you think people come here? Why do you think the Development Authority is talking to these people and they're coming here? And look, Brian, these are companies from all over the world. They're not just, and we don't care where they come from, but we basically have companies from all over the world coming to Dublin, Georgia, and that kudos to our Dublin Lawrence Development Authority. Those guys, Jimmy Allgood, Roger Folsom, Dr. Williams, those guys do a good job. But y'all, listen to me now. This $100 million, this money that's coming in tourism, it's the equivalent of $440 tax savings to you and me and you and whoever owns property. $440. So you complain now, which I do, about my property taxes, but and I understand, y'all. I hear many of you tell me every week, I don't have any kids in school. You know, why should I have to pay school tax? It's just the way it is. But let's don't penalize this investment, this SPLOST that we're going to vote on November 7th. Let's don't be short-sighted. And if you want to talk about it, call me, call Brian. I'm sure, I know the county commissioners would be glad to talk to you. And if you got questions, just ask them. Just ask. Because these are not pie in the sky numbers. These are things that are happening. And we got the receipts, we got the numbers. When we built that water park, we knew that was a home run.
Yes, sir. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, for the water park and Southern Pines and the turf fields, you know, again, thanks to the commissioners and thanks to the people of Lawrence County for us being able to have these many wonderful things. You know, I think the first year we saw 42,000 people at the water park.
Wow.
This year we saw 40,693. So to tell you that this is a big need for our community, yes. So for anybody that, you know, that has worried about these things, it's about the water park, well, they're getting, you know, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we would hear for years when we did these surveys, what do you want to see in our community? every time at the top, water park, water park, water park. So our leaders are responding to what we want. Now I hear a lot of people, oh, we want an Olive Garden. We're not getting an Olive Garden, okay? We don't have enough people. You gotta have 100,000 people in your county. So think of something else, because just take my word, Olive Garden's not coming here. They done put their foot down on that. We're just not big enough. So, but water parks, things that, you know, bring something to the table. If you think there's something good, you know, because our leaders, they're only as good. Bill Brown just said during the debate this week, he said, look, if we don't hear from you, you know, we don't know what you want. So if Brian don't hear from you, if Curtis and Kay and Bill Brown, does he serve on the?
He's on the tourism board.
Okay.
He's not on our board. So our board, our representation from the city is Chris Smith and Rich Mascaro and our Tiffany Stanley. And then from the county is Trey Kemp, Jeff Davis, and Clark Daly, and Jack Walker is the chairman. So he's elected by both city and county.
You got a team there.
Man, I cannot speak enough about my board. I have got a phenomenal board, an awesome group of men and women that they get it. They you touched on something a while ago that said that really rings a bell and really makes me quality of life. Mm-hmm. You know, so that quality of life, what these improvements have done for our kids, you know, in our community, in our county, and you know, if you don't think so,
oh,
you know, go to some of these other counties and see.
We got to take a break, and we'll come back and talk more about it.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and at Dublin Chevy GMC, we care. So we'll be contributing to the fight against breast cancer.
Thanks for your help in the fight against breast cancer.
In October, we'll be partnering with local agencies by making a donation for every vehicle sold and every vehicle serviced at Dublin Chevy GMC.
We appreciate your help in the fight against breast cancer.
So join us in our fight against breast cancer, and remember, Don wears pink well only at Dublin Chevy GMC.
All right, boys, if you want to go to college, you have to clear out another one of these.
What if we told you there was a better way to save for your kids' college than pickle jars? Morris Bank's Savings Builder account and Moolah makes saving for your kids' college easier than ever. All you have to do is connect the account to your debit card, where it automatically rounds up your purchases to the nearest dollar, depositing that spare change into a Moolah account, where it will grow into a nice little nest egg for whatever your kids have their sights set on.
Hi, I'm Perry Williamson, and we've been baking here at Williamson's Bakery since 1927. In 1965, my grandfather, Merle Williamson, hung our name on this bakery. Ever since then, people have been stopping in for the Williamson's tradition. We invite you to do the same here at 1634 Veterans Boulevard, or catch us on Facebook, or just come get you some.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, I'm talking to Brian Mallette with the Dublin Orange County Recreation Authority. We've been to All Stars, and it don't matter what county it was. I mean, surrounding counties. We've been to Effingham County. We've been, sometimes it's like playing out in a dirt field. But you got to admit, and some of you are hung up on it. I get that about the artificial turf. I mean, we have to address, you know, what you want to hear. But I'm telling you, when we're pulling in $100 million in tourism, they're coming here, and they come back. They say, man, I didn't, just like you're talking about the guy from Columbus, I've heard it over and over and over again. We're coming back. And let me tell you, walking around here last night, we have the best fans. You don't have no problem. I don't see no arguing and fussing and screaming at the umpire. I don't see... I just don't see none of that. We have the way you run it, and Jordy out here last night at the games, and you know, you got somebody there if you got a problem. Hey Jordy, what about this? And I love the attitudes of your people. You know, Brian, you're only as good as your people.
Yes.
Whether you're running a TV station or a watermelon stand or a recreation authority, you cannot do it. I cannot do it by myself. We need good people. And you gotta admit, when I walk down these halls, I don't care what office I walk by, you're very fortunate to have the people you do.
Amen. You know, Miss Kay Hughes, it starts with Miss Kay, and she's been here for 40 years, you know, which is a blessing for all of us because she's seen and done about everything with recreation, you know, and then it goes from there to Jordy Gray, who's over athletics, you're the director of athletics, and then, you know, what Aaron does, Aaron McAlvin, you know, JJ, over concessions and the water park. She works at the water park too with Curtis Coates at the water park. He's over the water park, and then he does our football and basketball program, you know, and then we just hired a young man from here, Nolan Daniel, who has been playing with Savannah Bananas and been in college. He's helping us with some travel baseball stuff. To, you know, Matt Smith over in operations that makes the park look the way it does, and, you know, to a number of guys, Casey Cullen that works over there, Corey Davis, Lee Yates, you know, all these young men that we have and women that we have that work with us. Again, kudos to them because they make me look good. And at the end of the day, I can't do it without them, and they do a phenomenal job, and I'm very blessed to have all these men and women working with us.
And we can't do it without you. It does take a village. It takes us all working together. And I know last night you just don't see trash laying around. You don't, because I see people, if a kid throws the trash, I know I picked up 2 cups last night, another piece of trash. Yes. We're not gonna leave our part. We're not leaving it so, well, they pay somebody to do that. No. I see other people doing it. They'll see a cup laying around, somebody left it. You know, we all take pride in this park, and if you come out here and see it, ride through there in the day, but I really would love you to come any night or any weekend. The only, and I know you had somebody call you today, the only negative I can think of maybe when it's packed, need more parking, and you're about to do something about that, aren't you?
Yes, sir. We got, the county is getting some more parking lots done for us through SPLOST, which, you know, we're getting a small parking lot done up front for soccer fields, and then we're getting another big parking lot back here behind Pod 3, behind our office, which will help with parking for the ag and things like that. But, you know, utilizing some of these areas that we can do for parking, again, it's people park a little bit everywhere out here, and sometimes it's a headache. But I'm a big believer in counting my blessings. I'm glad everybody's able to get out here and utilize the park and do things. Again, like Mr. James said, if something's going on or you don't like something that's being done out here, please feel free to call us at 478-277-5060. You know, and let us know. I mean, again, you know, please let us know.
Well, just like the parking, it's growing pains. Because of the growth that we've had at this park, you're gonna have those growing pains, and they're good. We're tackling those, so, and anything else comes up, and the number's been on the screen most of the time we've been talking, so that's not just telling you to do something that we really don't want you to do. Please, we need your input. We need your help. The more we got involved, the better we're gonna be. So get involved. I don't care if you ain't got kids or grandkids or whatever. Get involved, because you can either, and let me just share this with you. We got to take a commercial break. We're going to come back and wrap things up. But y'all, we can either invest in our children or we can invest in more prisons. I mean, that's just bottom line. And you know how we build prisons in Georgia? I just want to tell you, it's going to blow your mind. 3rd grade reading level. If a child is not reading on a 3rd grade level when they get to the 3rd grade, in the state of Georgia, we get them a prison bed ready. That just, y'all, listen. Either we're going to invest in our children, and if you didn't catch that, read to your kids, read to your grandkids. They have to know how to read. But in Georgia, if you say, what the heck did you just say? If they're not reading on a third grade level in the third grade, we get them a prison bed ready because that's where they're headed. That hurts me. That hurts me because that's something we can do something about.
Yes, sir.
I had a kid last night, he caught he got 2 line drives hit to him on third, bases loaded, and he kind of panicked and he didn't tag the guy on third. 2 times in a row. He gets really upset. The little boy starts crying. So I call him off to the side after the 3 outs was over, and I call him over to the side and I said his name. I said, son, tears rolling down his face. I said, son, you got the highest average of any kid on my team. And I didn't know his mama was listening to me, but I said, that's what you need to concentrate on. This is just a ball game. It's good to come out and have these kind of activities, but it's a ball game. And
find the positive.
Yes, there's always a positive.
Yes,
there's
sir.
always one. And I heard his mama behind me. I had no idea she's listening. She said, that's right, coach. You listen to him, son. And then she high fives me for what I said. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And that's what these coaches out here, that's what the staff here at the Recreation Authority, we are vested in your children, in your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. We are vested in these kids, and we want nothing but the best for them. We want the best for them. We want them to play their best, do their best, make their best, and we're going to support them. We're going to support them. Let's take another break, y'all. We'll come back and wrap things up.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin Wood Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From Moen to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin Wood Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
Looking for a career that's always in demand? How about one that provides you with practical and useful skills? A career that allows you to earn hands-on experience and an education with little to no debt? Oconee Fall Line Technical College prepares students with the right set of skills to succeed in fast-growing careers in healthcare, manufacturing, business, and technology fields. If you're ready to gain the experience you need to start your career locally, OFTC is where it all begins. Oconee Fall Line Technical College. Careers begin here.
Get yourself a natural gas tankless water heater and save space.
And have endless hot water.
Natural gas is more efficient than electricity.
And it's lighter than air.
When you install natural gas appliances,
you can get rebates up to $1,500.
The City of Dublin will finance you up to $7,500.
For 60 months at 0% interest.
Use natural gas for all your outdoor cooking.
It's a luxury.
We're on call 24/7.
You'll call us and we'll be there.
Whether you're building a home or starting a business, City of Dublin Natural Gas has you covered.
We serve commercial and residential gas all across town.
Yeah. Call your gas guys at 478-277-5048.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future? That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, I'm talking to Brian Mallette with the Dublin Orange County Recreation Authority. And if you did just tune in, you can also, we'll air this again, but you can go to our YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook. We're on all the social media platforms. As a matter of fact, Brian, I looked again. I was looking how many people would watch opening day of football, but I went over and looked at how many people had visited our site in the last 90 days. 1 million people have watched at least some of our programming. Now, we have a lot of programming, obviously, but 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's a lot of programming. But 1 million people, so, and some of it, and that's not the same people, it's not different people. You know, you got people watching, like we got high school football going on now. You got a lot of people watching that from everywhere. But my point is, no matter how you're watching us, you know, if you're old like me, you watch it on television. If you're young like Brian, you'll probably watch it on some social media platform. But however you're watching us, we appreciate you tuning in right now. So we want to just kind of wrap things up and hit the highlights. But I just want you to understand before we go that local tourism, the local tourism industry saves taxpayers in this county last year $440 on your taxes. So no matter what they are, they would be $440 higher without this money coming into tourism. And this SPLOST is coming up November 7th. You got to go to the polls and vote. And we got to get the word out because, Brian, I've seen in the past, SPLOST, we may have 3% get out and vote. So are you going to let 3% of the county dictate what we do on this SPLOST? You got to get out and vote. If you want to invest in our children, if you want to invest in our community, we talked about it a while ago, the quality of life. Y'all, if you could see these kids' faces, Brian, you see them, that I see out there. I had a opposing parent on the opposing team last night make a comment to me because I'm high-fiving their players because they get a good hit. They're all my kids. They're all my kids. Yeah, we want to win, but that's not the whole picture. We're encouraging, and the other coaches on the other team, they're encouraging our players. And Brian, it is so good when we're out here. They had a tough hitter. We'd never faced him, and the coach looked at me. He said, "Hey, coach, this guy's going to hit it pretty hard to the left side of the field." He didn't have to do that.
Yes, sir.
Because he didn't want my players to get hurt if they were too close to the ball. That's the kind of things that are going on at Southern Pines. It's just a wonderful thing. What do we need to say before we go, Brian?
So, you know, for me, I would like to touch a little bit on too, like we talk so much about, you know, the people coming outside our community, the people in our community are so important, and I don't want to lose focus on the kids in our recreation league and the kids that participate with us and you know, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, and do the things with us like that. But I would like to go back over these numbers too because of the investment that the county and the county commissioners have made in our park. You know, and our board, my recreation board, has allowed us to do. You know, in the last 8 months, this is with the water park and the numbers from baseball, softball tournaments and ag events, we've seen 96,000 people. 96,000 people. The most people we had ever seen leading up to this was like 40-something. It was in the 40s. So we have doubled that because of the number, because of the investment with these fields and the amenities. That has allowed us to do this through SPLOST funds. And again, these SPLOST dollars have saved us $440 on average per household. I mean, that's phenomenal. That's and for us to be a contributor of that, to be a part of the wheel that rolls through our county, I mean, that is awesome. Again, I've had rec departments come to me and say, "Hey, how are y'all doing all this? SPLOST funds." Yeah. Well, a lot of these communities don't get the SPLOST dollars we get because of the impact that we have. So again, you know, economical impacts just for baseball, softball tournaments that we've had has been over $7 million this year. That's 8 months, you know.
That's a lot of taxes, though. Think about the SPLOST, the percentage that goes from that 7.6 million. That's a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, bottom line, neither one of us, we're not gonna tell you how to vote. That's just up to you, your conscience. When you go in there and pull that lever, you gotta vote your conscience. But remember, when you go in, just that last thought I want you to remember. Do you wanna invest in our children's future, or do we wanna build more prison beds? It's just a raw number. We all know that and I'm sure some of you are saying, we build prison beds for a third grader? Yes. Yeah, that's how we do it. Because you got to plan ahead, and if you're not reading on a third grade level in the third grade, you're not going to be able to do math. You're not going to be able to do your science or social studies. You're going to end up getting in trouble, and then it's just a downhill spiral from that. But let's invest in our children. Let's invest in our community, and let's continue doing this. It's not something new. We're just going to continue what we've been doing.
1%.
Yeah.
1% of sales tax goes to this. And think of the $100 million that has been brought into our community. So 1% of that, I mean, 1% of the amount of money that's generated off sales tax in our community. I mean, it's, again, why wouldn't we let people from outside our community help fund making improvements for our community?
Yeah.
If 60% of the people are paying this SPLOST, again, very thankful for everything that the county commissioners and Brian Rogers and our county has allowed us to do and help the rec authority and, for my board and, for everything that they've done.
And I want to end on the board. These are non-paid people. And the time and effort that they spend, I know every one of these guys that you're talking about, and they invest a lot of their time. And these are business people. These are elected officials. They coach Little League. They're involved. So they give a lot of their time. They invested in these children, in your children. So, well, Brian, we covered a lot. Have we missed anything at all before we go?
No, sir. I'm grateful for you to come and spend this time with me. Always great to see you. Always enjoy our talks, and we're grateful and blessed to have leaders like yourself in our community. And again, thank you for coming and doing this.
Thank you, brother. Brian Mallette, he's our executive director of the Dublin-Orange County Recreation Authority. And like I said a while ago, no matter how you're watching us right now, thank you for tuning in to TV 35.
I don't just value my customers, I value the community, and we actually take our customer service here to the next level, and it's because I am nostalgic of this town, and we got a little saying, this is not just a storage facility, it's a personalized storage experience. So we encourage everybody to come on down and take a tour and just see exactly what we're talking about. We have a 50,000 square foot facility, so we can accommodate any size move, and we're in the Roses Shopping Center at 102 Hillcrest Parkway. And we are an indoor climate controlled storage facility. We have 5 convenient entry points that include a lean-to canopy that you can get out of the weather. If it's raining, no worries, we got you covered. And on the back side of this facility, we have a loading dock with a loading dock bay where any box truck or 18-wheeler can pull up to for the bigger moves. We've got storage sizes all the way down from 9x6s all the way up to 10x30s. So we can accommodate any size move from clearing out a closet all the way up to a big house or office space that you need to move in. So we got you covered. We've got 24/7 security protection and fire alarm protection. We have cameras in and outside of this building, so you're definitely taken care of. We've got rodent control and pest control covered too. We're not going to just take care of belongings, we're going to take care of you too.
Progressive Rural Telephone Co-op offers a full range of communication products and services to its members in Lawrence County and surrounding areas. We take pride in being your total communications provider, and we work hard to provide quality services at the best prices. In addition to offering phone service, we provide high-speed internet and digital high-def TV. And we always strive to put our members first. Progressive Rural, your total communications company. Small enough to know you, large enough to serve you. ProgressiveTel.com. Call 478-984-4201 or stop by 890 Simpson Avenue in Renton. Progressive Rural Telephone Co-op.